Hi everyone, my name is Kenneth Jose Vitrano. So the assigned topic to me is the simple probabilistic model for items which fail completely. So electronic items like transistors, resistors, tube lights, bulbs, etc. could fail all of a sudden instead of gradual deterioration. The failure of the item may result in complete breakdown of the system. The system may contain a collection of such items or just one item, say a tube light. Therefore, we use some replacement policy for such items which would avoid the possibility of a complete breakdown. So the following are the replacement policies which are applicable for this situation. So the first is individual replacement policy. Under this policy, an item is replaced immediately after its failure. So ang individual replacement policy is kapag nasira yung kunwari doon sa electronic item na yun, may nasira na part doon, is mapapalitan agad. And next is group replacement policy. Under this policy, the following decision is made. At what equal intervals are all the items to be replaced simultaneously with a provision to replace the items individually which failed during a fixed group replacement period. So, sa group replacement policy is hindi siya isa-isa pagpalit. So, is by group ang pagpalit dito and simultaneously. So we have example here, example 8.9. The failure rates of transistors in a computer are summarized in table 8.5. Failure rates of transistors in computers. End of week, first week up to 7th week. Probability of failure to date. First week is 0.07, second week is 0.18, third week is 0.30, fourth week 0.48, and fifth week 0.69, and sixth week 0.89, and seventh week is 1. So the cost of replacing an individual failed transistor is Rs 9. If all the transistors are replaced simultaneously, it would cost Rs 3 per transistor. Any one of the following two options can be followed to replace the transistors. So first is replace the transistors individually when they fail. So that is individual replacement policies. Next is replace all the transistors simultaneously at fixed intervals and replace the individual transistor as they fail in service during fixed interval. So that is group replacement policy. So find out the optimal replacement policy. Example, individual replacement policy or group replacement policy. If group replacement policy is optimal, then find at what equal interval should all the transistors be replaced. So solution. Assume that there are 100 transistors in use. Let P sub I be the probability that a transistor which was new when placed in position for use fails during the ith week of its life. Hence, P1 is equals to 0.07, P2 is equals to 0.11, P3 is 0.12, P4 0.18, and P5 0.21, P6 0.20, and P7 0.11. Since the sum of the PIs is equals to 1 at the end of the 7th week, the transistors are sure to fail during the 7th week. So assume that transistors that fail during a week are replaced just before the end of the week, and the actual percentage of failures during a week for a subgroup of transistors with the same age is same as the expected percentage of failures during the week for that subgroup of transistors. So let Ni the number of transistors replaced at the end of the ith week, and N0 number of transistors replaced at the end of the week 0 or at the beginning of the first week. So the value of N0 is 100. So solution. N1 is equal to number of transistors replaced at the end of the first week. So NO, the formula is NO times P1. Then substitute lang the value of NO and P1. So the value of NO is 100 times value of P1 is 0.07. Then multiply it equals to 7. So our N1 is 7. Next is N2, number of transistors replaced at the end of the second week. So formula NO times P2 plus N1 times P1. So substitute lang din. 100 times 0.11 plus 7 times 0.07. Our N2 is 12. So next is N3, end of the third week. Formula is NO N0 times P3 plus N1 times P2 plus N2 times P1. Substitute 100 times 0.12 plus 7 times 0.11 plus 12 times 0.7. So our N3 is 14. So end of the fourth week, N0 formula N0 times 4 P4 plus N1 times P3 plus N2 times P2 plus N3 times P1. Substitute 100 times 0.18 plus 7 times 0.12 plus 12 times 0.11 plus 4 times 0.07. So our N4 is 21. Next is N5. Formula N0 times P5 plus N1 times P4 plus N2 times P3 plus N3 times P2 plus N4 times P1. So substitute 100 times 0.21 plus 7 times 0.18 plus 12 times 0.12 plus 4 times 0.11 plus 21 times 0.07. So our N5 is 27. And next is N6. N0 formula N0 times P6 plus N1 times P5 plus N2 times P4 plus N3 times P3 plus N4 times P2 plus N5 times P1. So substitute 100 times 0.2 plus 7 times 0.21 plus 12 times 0.18 plus 14 times 0.12 plus 21 times 0.11 plus 27 times 0.7. So our N6 is 30. So next is last N7 formula N0 times P7 plus N1 times P6 plus N2 times P5 plus N3 times P4 plus N4 times P3 plus N5 times P2 plus N6 times P1. So substitute 100 times 0.11 plus 7 times 0.2 plus 12 times 0.21 plus 14 times 0.18 plus 21 times 0.12 plus 27 times 0.11 plus 30 times 0.07. So our N7 is 25. So next is calculation of individual replacement costs. So expected life of each transistor equals to summation of I times P sub I. So ang I natin is equal to 1. Then ang PI natin is yung kanina sa example. Then substitute lang, input lang natin 1 times 0.07 plus 2 times 0.11 plus 3 times 0.12 plus 4 times 0.18 plus 5 times 0.21 plus 6 times 0.2 plus 7 times 0.11 equals to 4.39, and that is weeks. 4.39 weeks. Average number of failures per week equals to 100 all over 4.31 is equals to 23 approximately. So therefore, cost of individual replacement is equals to number of failures per week times individual replacement cost transistor per transistor. So 23 is the number of average failures per week, and times dun sa times 9 is the given rupees in the problem, equals to rupees 207. So next is determination of group replacement cost. So cost of transistor when replaced simultaneously, rupees 3. Rupees 3 kasi ito yung bigay sa problem. Then cost of transistor when replaced individually, rupees 9, and given din ito sa problem. So the cost of group replacement policy for several replacement periods are summarized in tables 8.6. Makikita natin ito doon sa table. So here's the table. Calculation of cost per preventive maintenance. So first column, end of week A, 1 up to 7th week. Second column, cost of replacing 100 transistors at a time. B, rupees 300 lahat. And third column is cost of replacing transistors individually during given replacement period C. So 7 is yung sagot natin doon kanina sa, yan yung value ng N1. Then times sa 9 rupees na given sa problem. Equals to 63. Then next is N1 plus N2 times 9 equals to 171. Then next is N1 plus N2 plus N3 times 9 is equals to 297. And N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 times 9 equals to 486. And next is N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 plus N5 times 9 equals to 729. Next is N1 plus N2 plus N3 plus N4 plus N5 plus N6 equals times 9 equals to 999. Then last is N1 times N2 times N3 times N4 times N5 times N6 times N7 times 9 equals to 1,224. So next column is total cost. So B plus C, it is D. So the value na maglabas dito is yung sa B plus C. So 300 plus 63 is equals to 363. The next is the second week, 300 plus 171 is 471. Next is 300 plus 297 equals to 597. Next, 300 plus 486 plus equals to 786. Next is 300 plus 729 equals to 1029. Next is 300 plus 999 equals to 1299. Next is last is 300 plus 1224 equals to 1524. So the last column is average cost per week, D all over A, D divided by A. So D divided by A is first week is the D, our D is 363 divided by A, 1. So it also 363. Next is 171 divided by 2 is 235.50. Next is 597 divided by 3 is 199. Next is 786 divided by 4 is equals to 196.50. Next is 1029 divided by 5 is 205.80. Next is 1299 divided by 6 is 216.50. Next is last 100,524 divided by 7 is 217.71. So from the table 8.6, makikita natin agad na the minimum average cost per week is yung 4th week. Kasi yun ang pinakamababa, 196.50. Hence, the group replacement period is 4 weeks. So, individual replacement cost per week is, yung sagot natin kanina is rupees 207. Then, our minimum group replacement cost per week is rupees 196.50. Since the minimum group replacement cost week is less than the individual replacement cost per week, the group replacement policy is the best, and hence all the transistors should be replaced once in the 4 weeks, and the transistors which fail during the 4-week period to be replaced individually. Kaya yung group replacement policy ang maganda gamitin kasi is mas makakatipid ka dito, since the individual replacement cost per week is rupees 207 and our group replacement cost per week is 196.50. Kaya yun yung pinili natin. That's all. Thank you.